I don't think any of us really like to deprive ourselves of things that we enjoy or things that we think that or even we do actually need in life. I don't like going without food. I don't like being hungry. My family doesn't like it when I'm a little hangry, which happens when I don't eat. So why do we fast? This is probably not a lot of people's favorite topic because we don't really like to deprive ourselves of things. Again, why do we fast? Why do we do this? Is it kind of a hunger strike? Or holding our breath, trying to get God to do something? That sounds pretty bratty. So why would God honor that? I think sometimes we think that that's what it is because a lot of times breakthrough happens when we fast. So why is that? Why does breakthrough happen when we fast? I want to talk, if in Matthew 4, it talks about the temptation of Jesus. He had just spent 40 days in the wilderness, be without food and without water. He was probably at least tempted to be a little hangry. And here comes Satan and he tempts him. He comes to him and he says, if you're really the Son of God, command these stones to be bread. That would be so easy for Jesus to do. It's got to have been a temptation to him. All he has to do is say the word and he can eat. But what does Jesus actually do? He says, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. I think that pretty much sums up fasting right there. We don't live by what we eat, but just by that alone, but we live by what God's word is and what it is. It is life and it is breath to us. What would happen if we looked at fasting in that light? What is our food? It becomes a part of us. We take it into ourselves. It enters our bloodstream. It becomes our energy. It becomes our strength. It becomes our source of life. And it can even affect how we view the day or how we view life. I can go from life is horrible and then somebody gives me a piece of really good pie and all of a sudden life is a lot better that day. So it can even affect our moods. It can affect our outlook on things. We go from hangry to all of a sudden we have a better outlook on things. What would our life be like if we looked at God's word that way? Where it is our source of energy, it is our source of life, it is our source of strength, and it becomes a part of us. Where when we take it in, it's not just something that we read, it is something that becomes a part of our very being. No wonder breakthrough happens when we truly fast the way that we're supposed to, with that viewpoint and that heart. Maybe you've not really been a faster. Maybe it's not really been a thing that you've done a lot in your life. This might be a good time to start thinking about fasting. Now, I know that certain seasons of life, not everybody can fast food, even for a certain amount of time. It might be health issues, there might be something going on with you. That's fine. But what is something that you can give up that is important to you? It might be that maybe you need to do a Daniel fast, just eat certain kinds of food and drink only water. Maybe there's something that you feel like you can't live without. I don't know what that is, but I do know that if you give up something in a fasting mindset, we can live a lifestyle of fasting by putting Christ as our center. Let that take the place. God's word and his spirit and his breath take the place of that thing in our life, even just for a short time. And I think you'll be really surprised to see some of the breakthrough and some of the things that God can do in your life.